If you want to know the situation of Nigeria and what people are saying about the solution and the way forward for Nigeria, you have to listen to this. This is not a joke. These things are the real situation of Nigeria, what the solution looks like now. It is not a new thing because these are the things that were said decades ago. So, but now it is in the limelight. Every Nigerian is saying this thing now. The major part of Nigerians are saying these things now because lives are involved. That is why it is very rampant these days that people are pronouncing division, pronouncing regionalism, at least to be the solution to the current situation of Nigeria. Well, let's start with this.
So, having said this in part 1 of my video, what am I proposing? What is the way forward for Nigeria? And realistically, if I must tell you the truth, this is my stand for life. On Aburi Accord, I stand. On the ideology of Ojukwu, I stand. On the initial ideology of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I stand, which is regionalism. And sincerely, I want this to get to the president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I am begging you in the name of God. I am begging you in the name of God. Regionalize this country. You know more than I do. You have seen more than I have seen. And you quite know that there is no way forward politically in all aspects in regards the way forward to Nigeria's problem. You know all these things. I am begging you in the name of God. Use these last days you have, having the likes of them Akpabio that answers to your call in any means possible. Regionalize this country. That is my advocacy. But take it or leave it, whether you take it on this note or not. I pray that the atmosphere becomes so tense that at the end of the day, the ADC stand their ground. And at the end of the day, whether you are the president or not, you will see the need to sponsor or buy into the ideology of regionalizing this country. Sincerely speaking, I am telling you, and that is my advocacy. Because let's look at it. Regionalizing this country is going to address the fundamental problems that affect this nation. Sincerely speaking, what are the fundamental problems? The fundamental problems is a contradiction of different ideologies coming in play. And the fact is, you are equally going to save a lot of people the stress and this unnecessary rivalry between the Yoruba man, between the Hausa man, between the Igbo man, and between even the Niger Deltans and the Middle Beltans. You are going to save everybody the stress. In the sense that when you regionalize it, you don't need to tamper with the concept of the constitution that talks about Nigeria will remain one undivided entity. Yes, but the fact is that doesn't rule out the fact that the system under which the one Nigeria can be operated will not matter. It will remain one Nigeria, but the fact is the modus operandi will change. And that is the reality. You will save everybody the problem of a Yoruba man seeing a Hausa man as the problem, the Hausa man seeing an Igbo man as the problem. And you will save the lives of us the stress of coming to condemn somebody that is calling for placing a bounty on the head of somebody to unalive him because that is what his ideology believes in. That will be their problem. And in regards this, now we begin to talk about the concept of national security. What will happen to national security? National security, simple fact is the fact that the national defense will remain, and it will only come in when things affects national security and is beyond the controls of this region. That is to say that, take it or leave it, the military is doing more of policing job as a result of the failure of some of these governors than the realistic and the constitutional mandates of them ensuring and protecting the sovereignty of the nation. So you can allow that to remain, and they can only be called upon only when it's perceived to be a situation where it's beyond the control of the region. And I'm telling you, this will even promote a situation of more patriotism among the citizens. More patriotism, because every person will want to protect his region. And apart from that, are we forgetting the fact that it's going to be a system based on the fact that let every other region, let every other motherfucking region works and contributes to the center. And what you get from the center is as a result of your contribution to the center. And that is the reality. Take it or leave it. I know gradually you are trying to establish some of these things. But the fact is, you have to take a grand stand. Take a grand stand in regards this. You are the Jagaban. Take it or leave it. You have made your name, and you are always going to remain in the history book of the Yorubas. In regards somebody, I don't want to take you in this regards of your technicalities or you not winning or whatever. That is the reality of the federation at the moment, and the situation is what has given birth to all these things. Allah, I am begging you, in the name of God, regionalize this person. Separate the corn from the chaff. And most importantly, let it be arrived on the basis of referendum. Referendum in the sense that North cannot go as North on its own. You have to bring out middle belt. Because when you bring out middle belt now, you are going to see the distinct difference between a middle belterner and a typical northerner. I am telling you, they are the worst victim in all these things you are seeing happening. Sincerely speaking, Allah, let's tell ourselves the truth. The middle belterners, the minority middle belterners are the worst victim in regards all these things happening. So I am begging you, whatever it is. But if my beg doesn't appeal to you, I believe a lot of conscious minds are waking up. And at the end of the day, we can't continue to remain as this. The fact is, we will be one Nigeria. But the fact is, everybody will now be accountable, will now find more patriotism in the fact that these are my people and this is what I need to do. And it's going to cut a lot of expenses in regards all this unnecessary politicking. At the end of the day, when you bring in person, you sabotage him, and you actually, at the end of the day, you push him as somebody not good. Tinubu, I am begging you, Allah, on Aburi Accord I stand, on Ojuku's mandate I stand, on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu I stand, and after this, even releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually means nothing, sincerely, if these issues are addressed, because there won't be any need for agitation. And I'm also hoping and begging that you consider the release of this man, because it's obvious that some animals in this country are bent on nothing but ensuring that, and believing even in the fact that this country in its entirety, the world entirely, is for them to conquer. Save yourself the stress, save lives. But at the end of the day, if you don't listen to my humble appeal, I pray that the situation get tense, and when it get tense, I know that you are also a jagaban in all aspects. Take it or leave it. As far as I'm concerned, you are a military person in civilian clothes. And that is what I tag you. So I am begging you in the name of God, regionalize this country and address this madness. That is what a lot of other countries are actually also doing. And this is natural phenomena that is not exceptional to Nigerians. And what is the fear? The Odudua is actually strong on its own at the moment. So help other people that may be victim of this madness.
Sometimes if you are doing something, you think that you are Galadima, that nothing will happen. Yes, for now, nothing will happen just for a little while, but for some time, something will start happening. Because other Nigerians have brought countless videos here where other Nigerians that are not Igbos, even some that are Igbos, are saying this thing, that why is it that any pararam in the southeast, Nigeria army, the military will fool them? But what is happening in the north? We hear people being kidnapped in droves, 100, 200, 300, community taking over. Nothing happens. But once in southeast, come, they don't land. People are saying this, people that have conscience outside the southeastern part of Nigeria, they have observed this and they are saying it without mincing words. Well, this our brother has something to tell us.
I'm reporting the Nigerian army to the world. We are getting a whole lot of information about the atrocities they are carrying out in the eastern region on account of their so-called whatsoever sweeping operation they are carrying out there in search of ESN, IPOB, or whatsoever. Please, I want the world to ask the Nigerian army to leave our region. To leave our region, to stop molesting our people, our aged ones, our parents, to stop desecrating our shrines. Please, I want people to tell the Nigerian army to leave. Otherwise, based on the kind of reports we are getting, what is happening to our youth, to our parents, to our environment, we are not going to take it lightly. And that's the fact about it. We are not responsible for what Nigeria is facing today. Worse security, worse economy, worse living conditions, worse inflation. We are not responsible for anything at all. Please, the Nigerian army, we are asking you to leave our region. Go to the north, where terrorist reigns supreme. Go there. Go to the north to see how you can deal with those who are killing generals, your colleagues, generals, brigadiers, and whatsoever. Is that not shameful? If those atrocities we are watching on the social media, you see, even on the national televisions, are being committed, in the southeast, you would have pulled the so-called Tucano jets, your tanks and everything to go and level our people there and our region. But you can see what is happening there. Even the worst painful part of it is how we watched how Brigadier Uba also, was being murdered by those, terrorists. It was even video recorded. Is it not painful enough? And yet, you cannot go there to do everything possible to mop out those terrorists who are carrying out such dastardly acts against your colleagues. You are going to the eastern region, a peaceful region for that matter, to molest our people, torture our youths, do whatsoever you are doing with them. You see, please move out of our region. It is a very big shame. I also watched the Nigerian police, public relations officer, announcing to the world how they arrested a content creator with their forensic equipment. It's a very big shame. You are not announcing to the world, or you're not even using your so-called forensic equipment to track and capture criminals, to capture bandits and terrorists in the country. You are coming out to brag, to tell the world how you use the forensic equipment to capture a citizen, understand, whom you claimed whom you claimed, created a bad content and whatsoever. It's a very big shame. What a shame. You see, you don't use all this equipment to track terrorists that are ravaging, killing people on a daily basis, sacking communities, turning, women to widows, turning men to widowers, turning children to orphans. Is it not a shame? Is it not a shame? But rather, you are molesting innocent citizens, carrying out atrocities that are even against the law of, proportion, the law of impunity, breaking the laws of impunity. You are even killing innocent people. Please, we are asking the Nigerian army to peacefully leave our region. And for you, Nigerians, nothing will save you. We are telling you, nothing will save you except the total dichotomization of this country you call Nigeria. Not even the so-called ADC will rescue you. Are you not looking at the constitution, the makeup, that's what I mean, of the present ADC? You have the likes of Malami, a criminal, a thief. You see, you have the likes of Nasser El-Rufai, who brought terrorism to the country, that is ravaging people today in that country. El-Rufai brought it, even going to the bushes to negotiate with them, giving them ransom and the rest. Is it that all of you don't know all of these things? Tell me how the ADC is going to save you. You have a party, ADC, where you have the likes of Atiku Abubakar, a known criminal. We've forgotten Ali Buttons and other things in this country. What do you people don't know? What do you people not know about these individuals? Many of them. We can go on and on and on to pinpoint all of them. Those are the people now who make up your so-called ADC. What is going to change? What is the difference between the APC all of you are shouting today and the ADC all of you are running into? The ADC is, a makeup of past criminals of PDP who later moved to APC, and now they are regrouping again. Look at them, all of them, David Mark and the rest, all of them, Narek Boshal, all of them. You see, so if you think that the new party is going to save all of you, you're all making a grave mistake. What is going to save all of you from Nigeria is a total collapse of this country. Nothing is going to save any one of you. Not even Peter Obi, although in all sense of fairness to him, Peter Obi is the cleanest man amongst all of them. But it's not going to do anything because there is an entrenched, nefarious, rotten system in Nigeria. That's the fact about it. So please, I am not here to talk about your so-called politics. I'm here to talk about the Nigerian army, the Nigerian security agents. We know what they are doing in our region. We are getting every bit of the atrocities they are committing in that region. So please, we want them to leave our region. Please leave our youths alone. Stop torturing them. Stop, brutalizing them. Stop the atrocities you are committing in our land. Please, we are begging you to leave. Otherwise, if you push us to the wall, we are going to retaliate. And that's the fact about it. Then the Tucano jets that the President Muhammad Buhari bought, that he had wanted to use, against our people, then we are ready that she bring it down when we are going to rise to say, no, enough is enough. We are getting information of what is happening to our people. Please, we are asking you, peacefully, please, we are not responsible for anything happening in Nigeria. We don't know what is happening. We are not part of you. Please kindly pull out your soldiers. Suspend what you are doing against our people. We are not comfortable with it. Please leave our region for the sake of peace. We are not responsible for what is happening in your so-called Nigeria. Please leave our region. We are saying it. In full earshot of the world, we are reporting to the world. And they are silent now while our people are dying. We know what is happening. We know what the Nigerian army is doing. Please leave our region. Nigerian army, please.
Well, you have seen that clip, and people know the true stories behind these things. That they are not just ordinary, attack. There is a motive behind it. The motive to put fear, to take people's property, to take people's land and convert it. And, if you refuse in their quest to Islamize you, you know the implications. You forgo your land, forgo your ancestral place to them. That is what is happening. And all these things, hey, nothing serious to counter it that is going on. We have been getting accusation that what the government is doing in terms of, freeing these people is what is fueling their activities. If you look at it very well, which is true.
They will impose their rule under the banner of Islamic just to ethnic cleanse you and take over your land if you did not resist them. Those of you that do not know the story of Borno, especially some of my brother in Middle Belt, now because of Una, they make this video. Mind you, our ancestor too, and from Benue State, resist this group of people. But we, this generation, we dey sleep. That is why I want to remind you now with this story of Borno State. When Usman Danfodio, Sokoto jihadists start swallowing kingdom, Borno face the same threat. But there is one respected Shehu from Borno that resists these jihadist people the most. Because when Danfodio wanted to come into Borno, he wanted to use Muslim as a means of coming to gain his ground in Borno. But a Muslim man, Shehu from that Borno state, he resisted him and opened the mind of his people. His name is Shehu Momodu Al-Amin Al-Kanimi, with the pronunciation. This Shehu stood his ground and opened the mind of his people, telling his people that the agenda of Danfodio is not for the love and betterment of Borno, but is to take over Borno State. Do you know what Al-Amin did? He did not just educate his people. He formed alliance with other regions to fight against Danfodio and his army. He was educating people, letting people to know that you being a Muslim does not mean somebody will impose his own ideology on you, all in the name of Islam. He said jihadist is a license to conquer Muslims that did not have the same ideology with Danfodio. He let them know that the kind of practice that Danfodio is practicing, that is calling Islam, that is different than their own. He went ahead and said you cannot impose your ideology or your rule on us under the umbrella of Islam. He said it will not work. Shehu Muhammad Al-Amin mobilized his people, form alliance, educate a lot of people, and they fight against Danfodio. They resist them and push them away. It was a battle that people of Borno can never forget. That is how jihadists was resist till date in that land. But now they've been perpetrating stylishly because of the children of these days are coward and we are easily distracted. That is why you go see a lot of different kind of tigru for Borno State. Any region we don't resist these people before, when they come to say the region they lose guard, they go come in another form. These jihadist extremists, they are never tired. Likewise, when we resist them in Benue State, when Thief unalived Danfodio, when he was pushing his jihadist agenda to our region, what happened? The people of these days are weak. Now they are using another means to conquer that same land where we resist them then. When we say now we even buy Danfodio for Osongu Hill. But now the children of nowadays, they now buy them with money, propaganda, and entertainment. So Middle Belter, for them to conquer you, they will always label you as Arewa. For them to conquer you, they will always buy your government and traditional rulers with money. For them to conquer you, they will always call you one with them. But behind that oneness, that they buy your people. For them to buy you, they will always come disguised under the umbrella of Islam. That is why most of you will choose Islam first over humanity and your region. But that is not how they practice religion. If we this generation did not start behaving like our forefather, they go take over our land. You see that it's very important for those of us that know. Let's start educating our people, just the way Muhammad Al-Amin Shehu did. And we should not say no in forming alliances with other regions, not with Arewa anyway. Those three things, we Middle Belter need them. That is why sometimes if I call Igbo people, no be say I won't make myself Igbo. But no matter how we be, Middle Belter need alliance with other region wey no be Arewa. Anyway, share your thought on the comment section responsibly, and for those that love to cry, cry responsibly on the comment section. Thank you. Nigerians, pay attention to this video. This is a very sad news for Nigerians, but it's playing already, and a lot of you did not see it because many Nigerians too mumu, when people are planning undergroundly for your own head, you go see say Nigerian go downplay the whole thing till the thing go reach their nose before they will come say, oh, this thing is happening. I'm so happy that God gave me this wisdom that I think ahead. But the wrong thing wey can happen to me as a person is putting me in a country like Nigeria that a lot of people too mumu, they too dull, they no get sense. Now nobody will come and help Nigeria from this present situation, this unaliving from Muslim on Christian and all of that. Nobody is coming to save Nigeria. Donald Trump will not come to save Nigeria. Even if Donald Trump want to come and save Nigeria, they will blame him for that. So it's, Donald Trump coming to help Nigeria is not guaranteed anymore. And I will give you reason in this video. But before I give you the reason, know one thing about Islam. See, no matter how any other religion want to talk and reach, Muslims are too smart. They are too smart than every other religion. That they attack here, they're smart that they use them well. And when it comes to Christian, hypocrisy won't pious. Oh, I too love humanity. Pretense, it won't pious. And I'll give you reason why I'm saying all this thing, because I don't diverse. When I see, say, a group of bunch of people call Nigeria, no sense for their head. One religion can't day will be Christian. Despite say that they pie them, their brain no still they wake up to see reality. Muslim will be the one hurting you, and they will still be the one crying to the whole world. Those guys too smart. Now, this is how they play. They have different kind of group of these Islamic people. They don't spread themselves. People where they push propaganda. People where go push hate concerning one particular person where won't free you. People where go push hate concerning person where they open your eye. They have them. They litter. They are in different form. Where we say that they work together as one to achieve their agenda. Now that is what they are doing now in that Iranian war that is going on. These guys have so much push propaganda that you will even see some Christian debunking what they talk about a Jewish country where no support terrorism. Now you see a Christian insulting Donald Trump, saying Donald Trump is doing all those things for his own selfish interest. Now those mumu Christians wey no get sense. Even Donald Trump, they do the thing for your own selfish interest. But at least in the pipe people will be your enemy. Wetin concern you with in the do am for your own selfish interest. Now the Muslim where you they support as a Christian, where you they cry say that they buy Iran and all of that, are they not doing what they are doing for their own selfish interest? Now the selfish interest of Donald Trump they pay you, but the selfish interest of Muslim no they pay you as a Christian. Una no get sense. As this Iran conflict and Israel started, a lot of Muslims don't spread themselves up and down where we say that they push propaganda against Donald Trump and Netanyahu. Now, even when Donald Trump won't come help the Christian in Nigeria now, that propaganda where they don't push against Donald Trump go make am wey be say the thing sef no go come be like help again. A lot of people come against them. Now, those propaganda are not really because of what is going on in Iran. Those propaganda they are pushing is because of say they know say when Trump finish dealing with Iranian, now Nigeria ain't go come. So they are now pushing this propaganda so that even when Trump won't come, you will be Nigerian where they already believe the propaganda where they don't push against Trump. Now you can't even go against and say make it no come, or say you no want make it do what you do for Iran. No. Now you go even come the pursue and say make it no come. Those sympathy that the northern part of Nigerians are doing concerning this Iran, they are not because of Iranian people, it's because they know that they are the next target. And most of you Nigerians did not understand it because unatu mumu trying to make all propaganda to block Trump from coming to liberate Christian in Nigeria. And wetin dey funny me pass wey be say they even make me feel bad more. Now those Nigerians wey come dey go against Trump too for wetin they do. How more? I wonder why you mix me with these people wey no get sense. Anyway, share your thought on the comment section responsibly, and for those that love to cry responsibly on the comment section. Thank you.
Nigerians, I want to tell you something that some of you know and some of you don't know. You don't understand? Some of you know this thing, some of you don't know this thing, but anyway, make I just tell you now. You see this government, the Nigerian government, they are the ISWAP, they are the ISIS.
They are the Boko Haram, they are the Lakurawa, they are the JNIM fighters. They are the bandits. Take it or leave it. Look, the DSS can come for me. I have evidence to back this thing up. I have evidence to back this my claim. They are the one unaliving our soldiers. The Nigerian government are the one killing our soldiers. They are the one killing our police. They are the one forcefully entering our women. They are the one kidnapping us. They are the one unaliving us. Let them come. I know some of you will come to the comment section and start crying for me. Don't cry for me. See, cry for yourself. Don't come here under this comment and start feeling mercy. Oh, they will catch you. Don't type that rubbish here. All of us are not. See, I'm not your regular content creator. I know be your this thing. I'm not scared of their arrest, and neither am I scared of them buying me. You feel me? So I'm not scared of them a bit. Banaji Soronsu like this I'm not scared of them. I'm here to tell you guys the truth. They are the one kidnapping us, buying us, forcefully entering our women. The Nigerian government are the ISIS. Now them be the Boko Haram. Now them be the bandits. Now them be this ISWAP with now the Nigerian government. I have evidence to back it up. Let them come. You see all these things that when they come to kidnap schools, and they kidnap our school children and this thing. Nigerian government pay these people to release. They don't engage them in a physical combat. No! The government never. They have never engaged them. When these guys come to kidnap our school girls, kidnap our students, like all these multiple kidnaps, like all these, what do you call it? These massive kidnap, like 300, 200, 150. The Nigerian government, they go and pay these guys to release those kids, to release those people that they kidnap. And these people that they pay, they use that money that the Nigerian government pay them to buy more ammunition. You see how the Nigerian government is sponsoring them, empowering them, and indirectly, you see, say they don't become the ISIS. They are now the problem that we are facing in this country. They are indirectly or directly becoming our problem because you pay them 60 million, 100 million, 150 million, 300 million to release our school children and our mummies and daddies, instead of to go after them and eliminate them, burn these guys, behead them, set these guys on fire. No, the government will not do so. The government will go and pay these guys, and these guys will use that money that they pay them to go and buy more ammunition, and tomorrow they will come, engage, they will unalive our soldiers, unalive our policemen, unalive our CJTF vigilante, our fathers, our mothers, and our children. They kidnap, they forcefully enter our women. This is the government that a lot of you out there will be supporting. This is the government that many Nigerians, how can you, like, it breaks my heart. It really it makes me, I cry when I see a Nigerian, a full-grown human being that has blood running through his system, supporting a government that kidnap you, kidnap your family, unalive you, unalive your family members, forcefully enter your wife, your mother, your loved ones. You see a full-grown man, a full-grown woman supporting that same people. It breaks my heart. Let them come. I'm saying this thing. See, Banaji Soronsu, let me repeat it again. Banaji Soronsu, I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of arrest. Never was there a time I'm scared. Never. All of us must not keep quiet. Bro, Kanajin go, well, lie to lie. Banaji Soronsu. Now say the Allah. If I go, many Alhajis like will arise. Enough is enough. Let us spit the fact out so that the world will know what is going on. Nigerian government are the one sponsoring banditry, kidnapping, and everything that is going on in this country. They are the ISIS, ISWAP, and every other. In fact, they are the one that invited them. Because how can you pay when you pay this group that kidnap your people? You pay a group that kidnap your people instead of going after them to eliminate them, burn them, behead them. You pay that group. You are indirectly inviting others to come. That is just the simple truth. When you come, when you kidnap, when you go to our schools and kidnap, we will not burn you. We will pay you. They are the one that invited these guys. Yes, now. Where on earth does this happen? You kidnap school children, you kidnap a community, you kidnap a full village, and you are being paid for it. You are indirectly telling other people to start. Come, you are welcome to Nigeria. Come and kidnap and get paid. 60 million, 300 million, 400 million. And Nigerians will still be here supporting these same people. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that many of you out there don't get balls. Some of you don't even get the balls to call out your leaders. You guys are scared. We are not scared here. I am English Alhaji. I am not scared. You don't understand? I know they drag anybody. Now me and these people. If you know me from time till now. It is me. I know they scared. Evidence is full hand. Let the DSS come. It is here. I go blow and act like the whole world will see. It is here. Let them come. I have the record here of how much they have paid so far. How much they have paid these people. How much they have paid these bandits and kidnappers. How much they have paid Boko Haram. How much I have all the record here till they come. I'm waiting for them. You know the story.
Well, your idea is vital. We want to hear what you think about the situation. And don't forget to click on the like and share this video for others to watch. Well, I am still Chinedu. Till I come your way next time.